Fala galera do XAMLCast, estou aqui no Mix falando com vocês. Vou falar um pouquinho agora com o Tim Heuer. Tim Heuer. Acabei de perguntar o nome dele e já errei. So Tim, what do you think are the greatest new features in Silverlight 4 for the developers that are starting this?
I think the two greatest features that I'm most impressed with, and especially where I think we'll see the faster adoption, will be in trusted applications. So we call it trusted applications. It's also referred to as an elevated out-of-browser application, giving developers more of the flexibility of having a cross-platform kind of .NET and XAML development platform, but also being able to run a little bit closer to an dare I say, native application. Access to things like the local file resources, removing certain restrictions that exist in the Silverlight framework and things like that. So I think trusted applications will be a big adoption for Silverlight 4. The second thing that is probably my most favorite area is the implementation of the WPF RIA services, and that whole concept of being able to provide a platform that developers can quickly create Silverlight applications that are accessing data, right? So right now we have a couple options. Microsoft is providing what we call WPF RIA services, but we also have partners like DevForce. IdeaBlade has a product called DevForce, which does actually been around for a while, and then does some similar things. So I think that implementation of making it easier and more productive for developers to access data and not have to worry about service references, SOAP proxies, being able to access things in a RESTful manner, and true to form, that is a WCF proper service as well that can be used by other applications as well.
Wow, that's great. And where do you see the Silverlight going from now? I mean, we are now actually finally seeing the three screens in the cloud. So where do you see we going from now?
I think if you look at Rayaudi's vision of the three screens in the cloud, desktop is clearly one of them, and I think we're there. Right? So just announced at MIX this morning was the Windows Phone 7 implementation, which the development platform is Silverlight and XNA Game Studio. And so we have that kind of that third screen, that I'll call it, that I think we're moving towards in certain areas. So Media Center, we have some Silverlight support in Media Center, but not yet available to developers like you and me. More, agreements with advertising partners and things. So I think when I look towards the future of that three screens vision, I think that's the area, the 10-foot experience of, where can Silverlight be in that screen, right? The home theater, or even the big theater, in fact, right? So some areas. So you think of things like, set-top boxes, or digital cable boxes, things like Xbox, I think is a part of that story. But more kind of device-type stories, or perhaps embedded might be the right word. I don't know how quick we'll get there, and that's certainly a lot of what's on our team's mind to think about, as well as not ignoring the other two areas as well. And we'll continue to adapt Silverlight to what our customers are telling us. I think what was great about Silverlight 4 is a lot of the features that you see. In fact, the top 15 features that were implemented are directly based on community feedback that people voted on and kind of told us that this was needed in the platform.
I just saw that they actually enabled the full screen in multi-monitor.
Multi-monitor full screen.
That was a big issue for a lot of folks.
And it's one line of code. It's actually just a property on full screen.
So is there anything you could tell us of what to wait for the future for Silverlight 5?
Right now, we're just we still gotta ship Silverlight 4. We just released the release candidate, which we believe is close to a final build. I think we'll probably have we'll continue to fine tune over the next month of making sure that we can have a good release quality. Right now, we are just starting the initial thoughts about future versions of Silverlight, and so we're using community feedback. A lot of things that you'll see the community have been providing feedback on. I think that's going to be what's on our target. Things like how do we address more of the gaming scenarios for Silverlight, and if you look at the Windows Phone 7 story, how can we leverage what XNA has as a platform in Silverlight. So things like, perhaps gaming or where does 3D fit into that? That's been a huge that's actually in the top 10 requests. It's true 3D.
Yeah.
And that's actually not an easy task to complete cross-platform. You have OpenGL on the Mac, you have DirectX on Windows, so those are some of the things that are top of the list.
Support the code.
Yeah, and improving our line of business, story continually is the key. Microsoft's sweet spot is enabling developers to write great applications for organizations, both behind the firewall and consumer-facing. So we're never ignoring behind the firewall just to provide more glitz and glamour in the UI elements and things like that. We still are, we know our sweet spot for developers is business applications, so we'll continue to involve that. RIA services, again, over time, will probably get enhancements as our data stories improve and things like that.
So thank you. Is there anything you would like to say to the Brazilian folks?
If I knew how to say hello to everybody in Brazil?
Hola.
Hola. Oh, so it's very close to Spanish.
Yeah, very close, very close.
No, I would love to somehow get down to Brazil, so we'll have to find an opportunity for me to come down and talk to some Brazilian developers.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So as I see John Papa over here is, I'll do a plug for John as well to make sure that everyone in Brazil subscribes to Silverlight TV.
Oh.
So you can go to silverlight.tv.
Oh, we actually at XAMLCast we are broadcasting
at the meeting.
Every single Silverlight TV episode that shows up, we shameful plug.
It's great. So John's been getting on a regular cadence now. I think it's once a week. We'll have interviews with key team members, up and coming things, and again, as you mentioned, as we look at the future of Silverlight, bringing in some of those things. Hey, maybe here's what we're working on, and try to show people some early sneak peeks and things like that.
And actually, there is a lot of folks in Brazil that listen to our podcast, that watch Silverlight TV and tweet about it all the time. I think Silverlight TV is growing really fast. We started about the same time. XAMLCast actually started 2.5 years ago.
Oh, okay, great.
But I was not part of it. It started with Sonino and Conan. They had to stop. And now we came back later last year, and last week we released the 9th episode, and it's weekly as well, about half an hour. It's only audio podcast, and this will be the first video podcast.
Oh, great. Well, I'm honored to be a part of the first video. So it's a good time to be a XAML developer.
Yeah. We say that a lot at XAMLCast.
Absolutely. If you're WPF or Silverlight, it's a good time to be a XAML developer.
So that's it. This is 16, and we see you with a lot of other folks here at MIX.